Can you really turn $1,000 into 100,000? Not in theory, not in a story someone told you at a party, in your actual account, with real money, over a real timeline. I used to think the honest answer was, only if you get lucky early, pick the right thing, and somehow avoid every mistake along the way. Then I found a number that reframed the question entirely. A single $1,000 investment, placed in a broad market index at the start of 1983, would be worth approximately $112,000 today. No special knowledge required, no timing, just one decision and enough time. But here is what stopped me when I looked more closely. The mechanism that produced that result is not what most people imagine it is, and the approach most people take when they try to replicate it is almost perfectly designed to produce a different outcome. I want to be honest about where I started with this. For most of my adult financial life, turning a small amount into a large one felt like something that happened to other people. People with better information, people who got in early on something, people who had a contact, a tip, or just very good timing and the nerve to act on it. I did not think of myself as one of those people, and I suspect most of the people watching this do not either. What changed my thinking was not a single investment that worked out. It was sitting down and understanding the actual mathematics of how small amounts become large ones over time. Not the flashy version, not the overnight version, the real version, the one that does not require luck, special access, or a salary large enough that $1,000 feels trivial. The version that works through a mechanism most people have heard described, but very few have felt in their gut at the level that actually changes behavior. That mechanism is what I want to show you today. I spend way too much time turning financial systems into data you can actually see. If what I am sharing today is useful to you, hit subscribe. It helps more than you know. Before any numbers, let me give you the clearest possible picture of how $1,000 becomes 100,000. Imagine you plant a single oak tree. In the first year, it grows a few centimeters. Unimpressive, barely worth mentioning. But the tree does not stay small. Each year it grows on top of everything it already was. The growth compounds. New branches form on old branches. By year 40, the tree you planted from a single acorn is enormous, not because each individual year was dramatic, but because each year built on the last without interruption. That is compound growth. Your $1,000 is the acorn, time is the soil, and the rate of return is the climate, the environmental factor that determines, more than anything else, how large that tree eventually becomes. The question of whether $1,000 can become 100,000 is really a question about the climate you choose and how long you allow the tree to grow without cutting it down. Here is the number that made this concrete for me. Researchers who tracked the historical performance of broad market investments over long holding periods found that the average annual return across bull markets and recessions, crashes and recoveries has historically been in the range of 7 to 10% per year. I will use 7% as a conservative working figure throughout this video. Watch this compound curve build from zero on the chart in front of you. $1,000 at 7% annual growth becomes approximately $1,967 after 10 years. After 20 years, $3,869. After 30 years, $7,612. After 40 years, $14,974. After 50 years, $29,457. That is a single $1,000 investment. Untouched, compounding at 7%, It reaches $100,000 at approximately 66 years. When I first saw that number, I felt a specific kind of impatience. 66 years is not a retirement plan. It is a legacy. But what I found when I looked at what actually accelerates that curve is the part that changed everything. You've seen the math. $1,000, 42 years, $112,000, but that's the slow version. Part 2 reveals the variables that compress decades into years, the ones most people never think to adjust. It's coming. Subscribe, and you won't miss it.